Now I'm going to make you a Negroni, a classic Italian aperitif. The Negroni cocktail, equal parts gin, sweet vermouth, and Campari, classically can actually be switched up a little bit, just like the martini, which can go with less vermouth or no vermouth in the case of a dry vodka martini. The Negroni can be served equal parts, which is classic, or with a little bit less sweet vermouth and Campari, which is the way I like it. I like it with 2 ounces of gin, 3/4 sweet vermouth, 3/4 Campari. One of the most important things to remember about cocktail recipes is cocktails are a lot like fashion. Things change. In the martini, the amount of vermouth that you put in the drink changes. In the Negroni, especially in the last few years, the amount of gin has come up and the amount of vermouth and Campari has gone down. Not only can you change the proportions of the sweet vermouth, Campari, and gin, but you can either serve this drink straight up, chilled and neat, just like a martini, or you can serve it on the rocks. I find a great compromise is to serve it instead of on cubed ice, which will dilute quickly as it sits there at the table. I like to serve it on one big cube of ice that's going to keep the drink cold, but it's not going to add a ton of dilution to the drink, so you can sip and savor it. First, I have my chilled glass ready to go. My mixing glass is chilled. I'm going to start with the sweet vermouth. Three-quarter ounces. Campari. Three-quarter ounces. And gin, 2 ounces. I chose Beefeater today because Beefeater has orange as one of its primary botanicals, and I think the orange in the Beefeater really complements the orange twist garnish and the bitter orange flavor of the Campari. Fill my mixing glass with ice. Give it a stir. One thing to keep in mind when you're stirring drinks, or with any drink, is the sweetness of it and the strength of it. A drink that has a really strong base ingredient, I'm going to stir maybe a little bit longer. Or in this case, in a drink that has sweet ingredients, sweet vermouth and Campari, I may stir it a little longer to add more water to balance out the sweetness of the liqueur and the vermouth. Always give it a taste to see where you're at. I think that's delicious. I'm going to strain it over that big, beautiful block of ice. And this drink I'm going to garnish with a wide orange peel. Give it a twist over the surface, rub it around the edges, just flop that right on top. Negroni.